Good morning everyone. Welcome to Sewing Street with me, Vicky Carroll. Joined with Debbie Shaw today as well. We've got a really fabulous show as it is March 4th. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Do you know, I keep getting confused with May the 4th, but no, it's March 4th and try something new. So for anybody that has never watched us before, welcome to Sewing Street. We are, you've probably seen on your programme called your teleguide called Shopping Quarter, but we are your dedicated sewing show. So you're going to be learning all sorts with us, whether it be you wanting to learn dressmaking, quilting, toy making, bag making, hand stitching, embroidery, cross stitch. We're going to cover all bases over the next few weeks, over the next few months. We've got so much going on in the background, loads of guests lined up as well for next week, which is very exciting. But today we're going to be launching a brand new book with lots of great brand new techniques so I want to encourage anybody that maybe has got a sewing machine that needs dusting off and getting out the cupboard or getting out the garage. I want to encourage you to get your sewing machine back out or try a new hobby, try a new skill. I think we're all living in this world right now where we're a bit more aware of sustainability and being a bit more eco-friendly, so it's lovely to be able to make something that's going to be useful for you, that you're going to use and use or gift as well. So, first of all, how do you get involved? As it is a really lovely interactive community here. So you can purchase from our web shop, which is www.sewingstreet.com. Sewingstreet.com. So on there, you'll be able it will redirect you to Jewellery Maker's website. We are at the moment using part of their website whilst our new flashy website is being built. But you will be able to see the live stream on there. You'll also be able to sign up for our newsletter so we can keep you in the loop of everything that's going on over the next few days, and also underneath us there'll be all the products, not only from today's show, but you'll be able to have a good shop through, and it's only one postage and packaging all day long, even if you buy a sewing machine, for example. Also, another way of getting in touch with us, as I say, it is really interactive. We thoroughly encourage your suggestions and your messages, as we're new. We are literally not even 2 weeks old. What day are we today? 2 weeks today. 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks on Wednesday, we launched the channel. So we are still very new, which is exciting. It also means that we want your input. If there's any products that you find difficult sourcing, or if there's any demonstrations that you want to see, let us know. If you've got any messages for us during the live show as well, message on Facebook. Our Facebook page is facebook.com/sewingstreettv. As I said as well, it's 1 P&P all day long, no matter how much you're purchasing, even if you take advantage of the amazing offer that we've got on the Elna 680 Plus. I'll talk through that in a minute, actually, but with Debbie. But it is a brilliant offer, as there is a 5-year guarantee at the moment on a limited number of machines. Just a limited number of machines left. We can offer a 5-year guarantee. We'll have a look at it in a bit more detail, and Debbie's going to be showing on it. So, should we welcome in the wonderful Debbie Shaw?
Morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I said to Debbie this morning, what time does your alarm go off? Because I come in more or less in my pyjamas, and Debbie's like all fresh, already organised, all the studio. You're like 4 o'clock this morning, your alarm.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, how are you?
I'm really good.
I know that we've had a lot of messages in after the success of the first Sewing Street surgery.
Yes, and there will be another one on the first Monday in April, which I think is the 5th.
Brilliant.
Can't remember.
Can you believe that the next month will be April? It's crazy. But you can get all of your messages in for Debbie, and it does help actually if it's prior to the show, so you can obviously.
So I can get all the things ready. You know, if you've got a question about zips and you ask in the show and I haven't got a zip, then I can't answer it. So the more in advance you can send questions through, the better. Hayley's actually created, or is going to create, an events page on the Facebook page, so you can put all of your questions there, and we can pick them up as we go along.
Oh, so, good idea. So today it's March 4th, and try something new.
Something new. That's not an official day, but it is a general day across the country. And we were thinking that maybe the skill that you'd like to learn is sewing. Or maybe you'd like to introduce another member of your family to sewing. Maybe you're thinking about teaching the kids, or you've got a friend who sees you sew and just wants to jump on the bandwagon and have a go yourself.
Absolutely.
So we've got amazing fabrics, and we've got a beginner book that will bring you 25 projects. So this has been written by Debbie Grabbler-Crozzier, who is a very talented sewer. She's been sewing for a long, long time now. She blogs, she crafts. She lives in Germany, which is why she's not here with us today. But she has put together 25 projects, really simple and easy projects that even a complete beginner can make in just half an hour. What I love about this one, Vicky, is she doesn't overwhelm you.
Right.
So when you go through the like the tools that you need, she's not listing overlockers and things like that and cover stitches.
Do you know, Debbie, when I first started, it is quite overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's almost like a foreign language sometimes, and you think, oh my word, to get started, I'm going to need to invest in so many tools and so much stuff, and you actually don't.
No.
Don't get me wrong, it's all useful tools that then you'll add along your journey, and you'll find, oh, maybe I do need an overlocker if I'm dressmaking more with jersey, or, you know, you'll find different tools that help you. But initially, I really find this useful to have an essential
things that you need and things that you want.
Yes.
And there's a difference. So this is full of things that you need, and then a few things that you might want to move on to. But you're right, there are so many products out there. I'd love to sell you them all.
Yeah.
But you don't need them to get started. Even with the fabrics, there's a brief explanation about what fabrics and interfacing are. When you think about the amount of fabrics that are out there, there are hundreds. But to start with, these are the basics to get yourself going. So that's your essential sewing kit. Very basic, very few items. There's an intermediate sewing kit. So these are the things that you might want in in a few weeks after sewing. Description of your basic sewing machine, and then straight on to projects. So this is all your kind of information bit. The whole of the rest of the book is 25 projects, and in the back you've got patterns there as well.
Oh, fantastic. And I mean, you've probably noticed dotted around the studio there's so many different great gift ideas, really quick and easy projects. So we've got all of the samples from the book, which as well is brilliant to see. Yes.
So you've got things like a tablet bag, and she shows you in the book how you can measure this so this is the perfect size for you. But it doesn't just have to be for your tablet. You could put anything you like in. Make a smaller version and make a sunglasses bag.
Absolutely.
Coasters, that's the first project.
Absolutely. But also practicing sewing curves.
Yes.
But they're really lovely, great, simple projects if you are just getting somebody into sewing. Lovely pincushion.
Pincushions are a really good starting point for somebody who sews, because that's going to be your first project, and it's going to be something that you'll use every day when you start your sewing journey.
This is actually what I really like about this book, is that there's 25 projects. So if you think about that in terms of price per project, it's pence. It's really, it's nothing. But they're all very useful.
Yes, and it's learning techniques as well. So you're going to learn about bias binding, zip insertion, putting poppers on there, working with interfacing and foams. I'm going to make up one of these in our new fabric later on. But how about some gift ideas? What about
love that.
A nice little pamper set for your mum for Mother's Day?
Oh, love that.
So you've got the sleep mask there, but you've also got slippers.
See, this is brilliant, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like you said, these are all transferable skills.
Yes. So there's a bit of quilting going on there as well. And again, you've got your bias binding, working with elastics.
Is
so
the little koala
bear, yes, that's in there.
So toy making as well.
Toy making.
Oh.
We've got bags. There's a lanyard. There's even, if I just snip behind you,
Oh, this is handy.
Running out of space.
So maybe he's got a new job. You know, these are lovely gifts, aren't they?
Or that could be made into a guitar strap or a handbag handle.
There you go.
Something
Good
for
idea.
your camera, maybe. We've got bones for your dog.
Oh, brilliant.
Actually, that would be useless with my dog, because she would just tear it to pieces in seconds.
Oh,
you know the really tough toys that
Yeah.
you can buy that are completely indestructible? They're not. They're not.
So that would last a couple of minutes in your house. I love this as well, the bowls. I said at the start about sustainability, and one of the reasons that Steve Bennett actually opened the channel, I wanted to start it up, was because mindfulness and sustainability is a big passion of his. Bowls like this is great. A bread basket or a fruit bowl, or you know, just. I know that a few years ago everything was all sort of big plastic furniture and things like this. This is so much more on trend now, isn't it?
It is, and it's really stylish.
Yeah.
I love the way. I mean, this could be a washing line, you know, or a piece of rope, or a piece of string, or some piping, cording. But I like the way that she's just put fabric on a few strips of it. I've seen them with fabric wrapped around the cord, so you get a complete fabric bowl.
Yeah.
But I think this look is
I
really
love
stylish.
that. I love that. That's so trendy, isn't it? So all of these projects in a brand new book for just £12.99. And as you say, this is designed for somebody that may be completely brand new to sewing. So it's broken down really, really easily and simply, isn't it?
So one of those jargon-free type of books.
Which is what we like, isn't it, Debbie?
I don't like jargon. So that's Debbie. Lovely lady. So she lives in Germany. She's a really talented sewer, but she's very good at explaining things as well. She writes a lot for magazines and websites and things like that. And she does bag making books. And her samples are absolutely amazing. So really simply explained what you need, and then the projects that bring you...
photographs as well, which are very handy. I'm definitely a visual learner, and I think when I first started, it's almost easier just to have that photograph to see it as opposed to just reading it and trying to compute it in your head.
Joe, before I wrote my first book, or one of the reasons that kind of set me off, I bought a book on curtain making. I shan't name it, but it was diagrams all the way through, no photographs whatsoever. And the first pair of curtains I tried to make was an eyelet curtain, and it didn't work. And I thought, with the illustration, it wouldn't work at all. You couldn't sew the eyelets. You ended up with one side sticking out and one side sticking in. It just would not work. And I thought then, if ever I write a book, I'd do photographs.
Yeah, definitely. It does make such a difference, doesn't it, to have that visual very clearly.
So again, working with different mediums. She does work with leather a bit. You could use a faux leather. But even if you don't want to make up these specific projects, have a read through them anyway. There's your rope bowl. Because you're going to learn techniques that you can then move on to other things. There is a little coaster to match there as well.
Nice.
You could do a whole set of placemats for the dinner table or for picnicking. And these baskets, so useful. Maybe it's a bread basket on the dining table or for keeping your
and they're really expensive
in.
interior shops at the moment. They are really expensive. And I suppose you could then keep going if you want. Once you know the technique, make like laundry baskets and all sorts.
No reason why not.
Brilliant.
And that's a really simple technique. You're just zigzagging around in circles.
I definitely want to try that one. Fabric trays. These are all really useful projects and all designed to be very quick makes. Half an hour is saying, which also is another point actually. When I first started, you don't want to bog yourself down with doing a huge quilt because I think a lot of people will understand. I find such satisfaction from achieving something and having finished projects. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of projects that are on the back burner that aren't yet finished, but actually it's nice to have that satisfaction of finishing a project, isn't it?
What was the first thing you made?
I made a very similar to this panel actually. I made a panel quilt for for my nephew who was just a new baby boy, but it was a lot quicker to put together than if I were to do a full patchwork quilt. Yeah. Actually, before that, I did do a little patchwork cushion, but my first one that I'm very proud of was my little quilt.
That's quite ambitious for a first project, though.
But it was after going on a quilting and patchwork bits and bobs. But I love that these are all really lovely little gift ideas. Everyone, by the way, the panel is available underneath us on the website, and it's already selling very, very quickly, just so you're aware. One bit of information from Hannah. Okay, the rest of the collection. Oh, I'm with you. Okay, so the rest of the collection is unavailable on the website. For some reason, the panel is available via our customer service team, so you need to ring. For that. You can still get the panel, but you'll need to ring for it. A lot of people already have done. You've managed to find out how to get hold of it, but just so you're aware, Hannah's saying the rest of the collection is underneath us, but the panel you will need to call for. Gosh, it's beautiful, isn't it, Debbie?
It's lovely. Just to mention, the dark blue border is extra fabric.
Yeah.
So the panel is to
the
panel's just to the edge of the design, and then I put the extra fabric around the edge just to make it bigger. And you could carry on. You could do bigger borders. That one was only 6 inches, but you could actually keep making it into a bigger and bigger quilt.
Thank you.
I love hyacinths.
Isn't that beautiful?
It's
Look
so
at the
pretty.
colours. It is so pretty.
and taken from actual watercolour paintings as well. But they're such pretty flowers. And I chose this one because of the colours primarily, not because of the hyacinths and the birdhouses and the little bluebirds or anything, but purely because of the colours. Because I just think it's been so grey outside lately and so wet and so miserable. This is uplifting and happy and spring-like.
This is one that you ordered in, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah, I love the whole collection.
It's absolutely beautiful, and I must say, £6.99 for a panel
Is that all?
is brilliant value for money.
I'm not in charge of the money, I just chose the fabric. If I was in charge of the money, it would have been more than that.
Trust me, £6.99 for a panel is ridiculously good. And it's beautiful quality cotton. You will need to ring for that, remember, it's 0800 001 4433. Speak to our customer service team. I'm sorry that there's an issue that it hasn't jumped onto the website. The gremlins have been in this morning, haven't they? Paul is in a very good mood, I must say. He really is. But the colours are so spring-like. Like you said, I think we've all felt like we've been in winter for the last 9 years. We're ready for a bit of springtime. I feel like the world is starting to wake up, though. I know Victoria Carrington said she saw crocuses.
Crocuses, yeah.
Is that how you say plural?
The daffodils are in buds.
Yes.
I love the crocuses. That I don't know how they do it, but you'll have a tarmac driveway and a crocus will pop up in the middle of it. They are determined to come through at springtime.
Love it.
But yeah, it's nice to see the flowers coming up.
So that is beautiful.
Buds on the trees.
And you don't necessarily need to use it in this way of a quilt. You could actually have that as a cushion front, couldn't you?
You could cut into it easily. So you'd have maybe your cushion front and a back. You could just frame these, have them in your sewing room. But yeah, they make lovely borders. I love the little birds as well, the sparrows and the bluebirds down there.
It'd be nice actually just to do a bit of embroidery over the top of it even and framing it.
Yes.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Or practice your free motion with them.
Yes.
Because quite often after I've finished doing my patchwork, I'm scared of doing quilting, so I just do either straight line quilting or crosshatch. I won't dare put my free motion foot on, even though, I do love having a go. But having something that's already there, it does give you the option of then going, right, come on, get my free motion foot on and having a go.
Yeah, because you've already got the outline there. It's like painting with numbers, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And
We'll come back to the rest of the collection because I know we love this fabric as well. It is going to be separate by the ½ metre. But just so you know, the panel itself, a lot of people are speaking to the team for. So the panel at the moment is just £6.99. It is a free phone line number. And just to reiterate, that price point I think might be like a bit of an introductory price, surely, because that is so good.
But can you imagine, this could be a feature hanging on your wall, and then with the rest of the range you can make matching cushion covers, maybe a throw, and think away from quilting a little bit as well. This is lovely dressmaking fabric. So I'm thinking, not the panel obviously, but little girls' dresses or aprons and homewares and things. There's so much you can do with
Well, there's a lot of colours in there that you can then pull on. So even these lovely almost ochre tones, these lovely mustards and the blues, the lilacs, the greens. There's a lot that you're going to be able to mix this with.
And you'll find if you put a border on there in ochre, the ochre really pops. If you were to put that border in the lime green, the green really stands out. So you can make different looks with it by adding different colour fabrics.
This is the great thing. Hannah's saying I can see a lot of people going through on the phone line for this panel. And also checking out on the book at the same time. Oh, brilliant. Remember, you'll only pay one postage and packaging if you're purchasing multiple items. It's fine, no matter how many times you check out throughout the day. I love the fact that somebody could have a panel and someone else have a panel and make completely different things. This is what I love about crafting and sewing is that you can get a kit.
You could do a whole workshop. With 20 people, and everybody's project would look completely different.
Yeah, it's
which means that yours is unique. Nobody else is going to make something exactly the same as you, which is lovely.
Even for $6.99, if you know the little the crafty product that we had, the fussy cutting.
Yes.
Even if you were to just spend some time and fussy cut some of the birds or bits, you could then make your own fabric essentially by appliquing them onto another fabric.
Oh, like with the border.
Yeah,
across there. If you use those flowers and put something like heat and bond on the back of them, or a non-woven stabiliser to stop it fraying, you can make them 3-dimensional.
Ah.
So layer them up and then actually have like little brooches. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
See what I mean? Like, we'll keep going on and on and on. We'll come back to that.
But as a beginner sewer, because that's what we're kind of talking about, leave off the border if you didn't want to put that on. I did put a backing fabric on this one, but I bagged it out just for speed because I didn't have much time to make it. You could put bias binding around the edge if you want to, but as a complete beginner, all you're going to do is put some wadding behind it. I've got 2 layers of a cotton wadding behind there. I've sewn around the edges so it looks like it's been patchworked, but it's not. Sew your backing on right sides together, leave a gap to turn it the right side out, turn it out and sew around the edge. And as a beginner sewer, you can make that in around about a couple of hours.
Brilliant.
Imagine your mum on Mother's Day receiving that as a gift, or for a birthday, for your mum, dad, anybody. Then your very first project is going to be treasured, but if it's something like this, it looks so complicated.
Yeah, it does look like you've
Somebody's
spent a
going
lot
to think,
of time on
you've
it.
spent weeks doing it.
So, a third of the stock of the panel has now gone. Be aware that a quarter of the stock of the book has also gone. I will come back to this actually because a lot of people are checking out on both. I love this cloud pillow.
And
this is
look,
great.
Happy cloud, sad cloud.
Oh, that is so good. Oh no, depending on what day.
We like happy cloud.
Oh, that's brilliant. And again, just to reiterate, this is brilliant for complete beginners, but yet still you're going to be learning new skills all the time. So I've noticed
free motion embroidery, yes. If you don't have a free motion foot on your sewing machine, you could do that by hand, or it's only a straight stitch. It hasn't actually drawn with it, so you could just use a straight stitch on your sewing machine instead. But again, you're learning skills using an embroidery hoop with your free motion embroidery. So again, if you're not planning to actually make any of these, do have a read through and do look at the instructions, because you can use these skills for other projects going forward. I love the leaf bunting.
Yes, I noticed that straight away.
Yeah.
It is gorgeous, isn't it?
Now she's used a cutting machine to make those with. You could trace from a book or something that you downloaded from the internet if you don't have a cutting machine. Yeah, felt's a great machine to start fabric to start sewing with because it doesn't fray.
One, it doesn't fray. Two, it's actually really affordable to get hold of as well, isn't
Yeah.
it? You don't need to indulge in buying, at Liberty, your fabrics and William Morris prints straight away. Have a go with felt. Nice for children as well to have a play around with, isn't it?
And it's nice, it feels nice when you're working with it, if that makes sense. That's
it behaves
important.
itself as well. Don't jump in and put yourself off by, working with silks or PUs. You could, even though it does cover, again, as you say, some leathers are PUs, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Only in small quantities. So there's things like the fastenings that go onto a zip, or there's the centre, the flower in the centre of the pin cushion, the tabs on the end of the lanyard. There's elements of leather in there.
But that's nice just to dip your toe in without thinking, right, I'm going to make a leather jacket or a leather bag. You can just get used to how it feels on your machine to sew with.
Yeah, these are nice as well. Embroidery hoops are lovely ways of decorating your home. So, and it doesn't have to be perfect. This could be your handwriting. You don't have to write in French, but you do get the templates to do this if you like. But put a message, whatever you like. That could be happy birthday. But it's finished really nicely as well. So
I went to a bar in Nottingham and they had all embroidery hoops all over the wall with different pictures and artwork and embroidery on. And it looked amazing, statement wall. It was really cool. And I thought, these are very practical and you think of them to, do your embroidery, your hand stitching, but also really lovely and decorative.
And very simple to make as well. So that could be a personal message for somebody. Nice to add buttons as well to things like that.
Lovely. Oh, the koala. We love the koala. Look at him. Oh, he's gorgeous. And it could be a polar bear.
Yeah.
He could be then just a normal fuzzy bear, couldn't he? If you change his nose.
Yeah.
A brown bear. Or a memory bear even.
Yes, that would be nice. And again, you get the patterns inside there and, of course, all of your instructions here as well. Oh.
They're very thorough instructions, actually, with tips along the way.
We had the iron finger on Sewing Surgery on Monday. That's another way of using it.
Oh, yes. That is good, because I always say, right, we need to get those, in the sewing surgery, we need to get hemostats, are they called? The needle pullers.
Oh, yes.
Needle pullers.
Yes.
You know, they look like scissors, but they grip. But they're actually a medical tool.
Yes, that's right.
They are a medical tool, so we need to get them in the surgery. But that's another way of a really good way of stuffing. Then your smaller little arms and legs.
Such a good idea. There's coasters and mats. And see, that's another little bit of leather. But if a lot of people don't like working with leather, it could be a faux leather or even felt for that one. Placemats. Again, we've got quilting, cross-hatching, bias binding. So lots of techniques that you're going to learn. I love the hexi pillow.
Oh, gorgeous.
It's a really simple. It looks like you've EPP'd it.
Well, this says here, a new and quicker way of EPP. Great, so it does look like you spend a lot of time.
Yep, but it isn't. You create the hexagons in the same way as you would English paper piecing and hem them, but you're just going to sew straight across them in diagonal lines on your sewing machine. So it looks complicated and time-consuming, but Debbie says it's 30 minutes.
There you go, 30 minutes, have a go. We've got some lovely Riley Blake fabric, actually, that would look nice in that cushion. Just stock warning, big stock warning. The panel on its own, I'm just going to move out the way so you can see it. I think the panel on its own is virtually sold out. Oh, it has now sold out, sold out. I think it's to do with that price as well. It's a bit ridiculous, isn't it? What were you going to say? Sorry, Hannah. Right, we have got a positive. She's on the phone to Hayley upstairs. We're trying to sort out bundles. So you'd be able to get the fabric plus the panel. Okay, so we might be able to have a few in a bundle with some more fabrics. Stay with us. If you've missed out on the panel, basically, watch this space. Before the end of the hour, hopefully, if we can get more, then we will. We'll get more if we can. Do you want to go on to that? We can carry on with the book for a bit longer whilst we try and sort out the stock on the panel. 3D flowers.
Yep.
Brooches.
This is a brooch, but that could be a decoration on something that you're not going to wash. So if you've got a cushion cover or maybe a headband, little girl's headband would look lovely, or a bag. Or a whole posy of them. Put them on some florist wire and stick them in a jar. It would look lovely.
Nice. See, there's so many different techniques. Again, what great gift ideas for people. Really great gift ideas. I like that.
Bag charm. It looks like a dream catcher.
Yeah, it does.
Look, doesn't it?
It does have a dream catcher look. Oh, that's gorgeous. And again, working with felt. Is that another one that's on like a wool felt?
Yeah, that's a really heavy weight of felt. Again, she's used leather. You don't have to if you don't want to. But how simple and easy is that? Making your own tassels even. But that could be for your keys. Debbie's put it on a bag, but you know, do what you like with it.
And I like the fact that they're incorporating, you know, eyelets and bag furniture, because you are a big advocate of using...
I like a bit of hardware.
Yeah, a bit of hardware. If you need some hardware, we come to Debbie. But it's good to get used to putting on those little bits and bobs.
Yeah. It gives you a really, I think, shop-bought look to anything that you're making. And things like the little lobster claw clasp, well, you can't sew one of those, you'd have to buy them. But learning how to add things like eyelets, a lot of the time these things don't come with instructions. You know, even magnetic snaps or poppers, you'll buy a bag of them and there's no explanation as to how to put them on. So it's nice to have those in a book. But yeah, add as many of those as you can. I just think they look really professional. So again, making your own tassels. You don't have to make the bag charm with the tassels. The tassels could go into the corner of a cushion cover. Absolutely.
How do we say, transferable skills, lots of transferable skills. Just £12.99. Those of you that are just tuning in, I don't know how quick this hour goes. Already halfway through, but please do be aware the book is selling very, very quick. Learn to sew in 30 minutes. 30-minute projects, 25 quick and easy projects to build your skills. So there's something in there for everybody, from bags, toys, useful bits and bobs for your sewing machines. £12.99, brilliant value for money, and it is brand new today. Be aware that around about half the stock is now gone. So do be quick if you want to make the most of that, as we've already had stock issues with panels and fabrics and all sorts. Just £12.99. We're trying to sort it anyway. We're trying to get more for you. Okay. Do check out on that. Now, we're going to do a bit of sewing,
We are going to do a bit of sewing, but all the projects are half an hour, so we've got about half an hour left, haven't we?
Time starts now, Debbie.
So, this little pot. My daughter made some of these, actually, and she's got faux cacti in them, all in different sizes, and they look so pretty. But you could use these for storing anything like cotton wool balls in the bathroom or bits and bobs on your sewing room. Could be a thread catcher, and it's only made from 4 9-inch squares of fabric. So with the outer pieces, I've already put some H640 on the back of that. So that's,
and that's like a fusible fleece, yes.
Yeah. So it's a polyester fusible fleece, so it irons on, and it gives your box a bit of rigidity, but it's still very soft. If you wanted that a bit firmer, then go for one of the fusible foams. Fusible's easier, I think, than sewing when you're making something that's going to be turned inside out.
Now, even though this is quite thick, you're still going to be able to sew without putting your walking foot on. You don't need a specialised quilting foot.
No, and no, it's really easy to sew through, and you don't have to trim it back to the seams either. So those are the 2 outer pieces.
Now I'm going right back to basics. Do you cut this with a rotary cutter and ruler?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
I find that so much easier, rotary cutter, ruler and mat, particularly when you're cutting things that have to be really accurate, like these have to be. Otherwise, the box isn't going to work. They have to be an exact 9-inch square. You could make 10-inch square or 12-inch square or 6-inch square, but these just happen to be 9. And you've seen the fabric as well. It's got whiskers.
Oh, are they cats?
Yes.
Oh, look at this fabric. I think, actually, I've got this fabric by the half metre. Do you know what I like? It's quite often... I love all of the cat fabrics that we get in. It's brilliant. And some, they have a sort of time and a place. Sometimes you want more of a novelty cat fabric that's full of cat. But this is so subtly cat, isn't it?
It is. Even if I just hold that next to it, the spots have got a little cat face on there as well.
Love this.
There's another one that looks like spots, but it's actually little balls of wool.
Oh.
So it is very subtle. It's not an in-your-face, I'm a cat
lover.
Fabric.
Yeah, exactly.
No, not at all. It's very subtle.
It's Riley Blake. It's amazing quality, of course. When you're looking at that name, you know that you're getting the quality. This is sold by the half metre. That is what half a metre looks like. So how much would I need to make the bag, the little flower pot that we're looking at?
So that much.
Oh, amazing. So just buying half a metre.
Yeah, you could probably make 1, 2, 3, 4 of them.
Amazing.
You'd need another half metre for the lining, but you could use the same on the inside if you wanted to.
Yeah, there you go. £6.99. So this is one of the brand new Riley Blake fabrics that we've got. It's the mint sparkle fabric from the Chloe and Friends range. Beautiful, with that little hint of metallic gold as well, the little whiskers.
And again, everything about it is very subtle. So I put a ruler down somewhere.
Sue just asked about the spot fabric that you're holding as well. I think we've got it in 2 colourways, which are these 2, the mint, and then the one that Debbie was holding was the grey with the lovely gold metallic cat.
Subtle again. Even the foiling is very subtle. It's not shiny, sparkly.
Yes, it is. It's just, again, lovely and subtle. A little nod to all of our feline friends. And this, like you say, even though it is quilting weight, these are lovely for dressmakers as well.
Yes, for dresses, for homewares, for trimmings. Can you imagine a really nice crisp white shirt with a collar and cuffs and a pocket as a trim in this? Would look amazing.
Beautiful.
But the shirt would look fabulous. I can see John in one of those.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I'm not offering John, but you'd look great in one of these.
Remember, it does. We do sell it by the half metre, so that's what half a metre looks like. It's 112 wide, and it will be cut off the bolt to however much you want. So if you want a metre, for example, you add 2 units to your basket, or if you want 2 metres, you add 4 units to your basket. The other dots, and then we'll get back to showing you what to do. Sorry, there are a few others in the collection. At the moment, you can make the most of them underneath us on the website. They're already there. Even if Hannah hasn't played through the graphics, you can still start shopping and buying as much or as little as you want. Half a metre is £6.99, and just be aware it is designer fabric. This is really luxury, beautiful cotton. If you've never worked with a fabric with a metallic on it before, Debbie, is there anything that you would be aware of? Or?
No, sew over it. It's absolutely fine. It's not like a plastic embossed cat that's on there. It's actually very soft ink, so don't worry about sewing over them. You don't need a metallic needle to sew over them, don't worry at all.
No.
But what I love about the whole range as well, it's not just the cats, it's the florals. And you wouldn't have... If I was thinking about designing a fabric, I wouldn't think, well, cats and florals go well together. but they actually do.
Can I show you a sneak peek? We'll show you how well it works. A bit of a sneak peek. We're not going to run them through just yet because we want to get on with the demo, but
Balls of wool, look.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's so much fun, isn't it?
It's clever, isn't it?
Really clever. They're beautiful. Right, they're all available on the website at the moment. We'll run the graphics. Oh, people are going crazy for these new fabrics.
I'm so glad you like them.
Yeah, these are down to you, aren't they?
This is the first time I've ever been on a shopping trip for Sewing Street. So me and Kimberly, my daughter, went to the warehouse and it was so much fun. But we just picked out...
Like supermarket sweep.
Yeah, we just picked out the two ranges. But you know when you kind of go through the checkout and then you think, spent an awful lot of somebody else's money. I hope everybody likes it.
Oh no,
so
everybody
I'm
loves
so
it.
pleased that you do.
Everybody loves it. So we've got 9-inch squares.
9-inch squares. We're going to draw 1.5-inch square in the corner of each piece.
Right, so your outer parts are the ones that you interface.
Yes, and the lining you don't need to. You can do actually if you want it a little bit stiffer. There are no rules as to how much interfacing that you use. But we're just following instructions.
Now you're using a friction pen as well, aren't you? That's
I
just one
am.
that will disappear, but it doesn't matter, does it? You won't
It
see
doesn't matter
that.
for this because even if some of the ink is left on the fabric, it's going to be within a seam allowance, so it doesn't matter. So whatever marking tool you happen to have. I've got both pieces of lining here, so I'm cutting through two at the same time and simply cut out the corners. That's what's going to make the base square. And then I'm just going to use those squares as a template to cut out the same from the outer fabric. And the same on this one. So all 4 pieces the same. If you're making a bigger box, then make the squares a little bit bigger as well. So if this is 9-inch, if you're going to do a 12-inch, I'd do a 2-inch square at the bottom.
Right, that's good to know. This is a technique, again, that you use a lot in bag making, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
Your boxy bottom.
Yes. There's lots of different ways of doing it. I find this the easiest. There you go. So that's that. Then we sew it together.
It's easy, isn't it?
Really is easy. So I'm going to sew down the sides and across the bottom, but not across the cut-out corners.
Okay.
And then the same on the lining, but we need to leave a turning gap.
What seam allowance are you using?
1/4 inch.
Right. And look how well that sewing machine is going through all of those. Now there is quite a few layers on here, isn't there? You've got 2 layers of fabric and
Yeah,
2
there
layers
are.
of fleece.
But this is an amazing sewing machine. If you're using that machine that's been in the family for the last 50 years, or you've borrowed somebody's machine, or you're doing this while you're sewing, don't worry about the thickness of the fabrics. You will be able to sew through this easily. I think Debbie has taken into account that, that's Debbie the author, not me. I don't talk about myself in the third person.
Paul does, doesn't he? I noticed that.
But she has taken into account, this is a book about teaching people how to sew in half an hour. So most people are not going to have a machine that's anything like this. Unless, you're teaching, you've got the machine and you're teaching somebody else. But this isn't probably the beginner's machine.
So you haven't sewn those corners, you're leaving those empty, and you're leaving the top obviously open.
How do I do this?
What did you put down? Yeah, underneath. Organised chaos.
That wasn't quite 2 inches. And then the same with the lining. So right sides together, so pattern sides facing each other. And down the sides and across the bottom, but I'm going to leave a gap so I can turn it the right side out. So.
Again, 1/4 inch on the lining?
Yep, just the same. A little tip of mine, which isn't in the book, if you sew a scant 1/4 inch, so your thread has a width.
Okay.
It's only tiny, it's the width of the thread, which is tiny. But if you sew just inside the width of the thread, which is a scant seam, your lining will be slightly smaller than the outside, so it'll sit nicer in there. That makes sense.
Only very slightly?
Yeah.
Okay. And they're not big projects that you need to worry about clipping or pinning or anything like that. It's behaving itself.
Not at all. The projects that use those techniques are explained, but I think that the main point of the book and the reason why we have it on the show is to encourage people to get sewing. So, a lot of people, because I deal a lot with beginners or people that are coming back to sewing, they don't know where to start.
Yeah.
And things can be a little bit daunting and look complicated. So, you've got 25 projects in here, all at beginner's level, which I think is amazing. Absolutely. Useful projects, pretty projects, projects that you can give away as gifts or you're going to use yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you can see on there, I mean, that's not one of these super whiz machines. You're looking at quite a basic machine on the front cover.
Yeah.
So it is designed for somebody that is brand new to sewing. Love that.
My first machine was a Singer with a...
You've got a collection of all of these
handle.
lovely little mini machines
Yes,
as well, haven't you?
yeah. I wish I had my original one. I don't really know what happened to that. And then I had my first proper sewing machine, because I used to use my mum's because she was a dressmaker. She bought me when I was 18, I think, and I used that until I was about 45.
Yeah. I know so many people that still say that they're still on a machine that they learnt on years and years ago. Even demonstrators that come in, they come in and buy one on machines, but they say, it's still on the same machine that I was using 20 years ago.
Yeah. If you look after them, they'll last you a lifetime.
Sorry, what is it that you're doing
I'm
now?
just carrying on with that, explaining what I'm doing at all. Where those cut-out corners are, you're going to open that up so that the two seams meet. And that's what's going to make the base of the bag square. I like to squish the seams in opposite directions, so don't worry about pressing seams open or anything like that. And then we're going to sew straight across there.
Right.
And the same on the outside of the bag.
And you just did a little quick reverse.
Yeah,
So just...
a back tack. If I'm sewing up to the edge of fabric that's going to go into another seam, I don't normally bother for speed. But when you're coming to the end of a line of stitches like this, if you just go backwards a few stitches, it'll stop it coming unravelled.
Right.
Because there'd be nothing worse, would there, than you finish your project and it comes undone and you have to unpick it all to sew it back up again.
We're doing our best to get more of those panels, by the way. Into a bundle. We're going to hopefully be able to do it in a bundle. We're not going to be able to have any on their own, but we hopefully will be able to have them in a bundle. Just remember, the rest of the Riley Blake fabrics are underneath us as well on the website. And the Hydrangea collection as well, the springtime Hydrangea collection.
A lot of people that I've spoken to, I've been promoting the show on Facebook and putting some pictures of the finished samples. The hydrangeas seem to have a memory for them. They're significant for people. Yeah. They're very popular in wedding bouquets.
Yes.
For me, my mother-in-law passed away last year, and she lived in a bungalow, but it was in a whole row of bungalows all the way down the street in Billingham. And we recognised her bungalow as you're driving down there because she had a huge bush outside. It was massive, so you could spot it a mile away. It was amazing when it was all in flower. And the sad thing is, after she passed away, the next owners of the house chopped it down.
Oh, what?
I know.
I think it's the most beautiful flower, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is this the one on blue? There it is.
That's the one I used as the border.
Oh, okay, right. So for anybody that got the panel, how much did you use for the border?
It was practically the whole panel. There wasn't very much left of that.
So did you use half a metre or
yes,
a metre?
Sorry,
half a metre.
There was a little bit left, but I did do quite a wide border that was 6 inches wide.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? I think you're right, you know. It is such a beautiful flower. Like you say, a lot of people associate it with weddings. And it's lovely.
Yeah. And you always think of it as being a very English or very British type of flower. And it's not, it's Asian.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Asia and South America it comes from.
Love it. There's less than 20 metres of this, by the way. It is extremely limited. As soon as we went on air, a lot of people started checking out straight away, so we're now down to less than 20 metres. So if you are thinking of larger projects, soft furnishings, or if you're thinking of dressmaking, then be quick to secure how much you want, as there's less than 20 metres now. It is beautiful.
Do you know what I think it would look lovely? There's a lot of people love the kind of retro 1950s dresses. And I can just imagine a Bardo neckline and a nipped-in waist and a huge skirt made out of it.
Oh, Karen on the fan page, she does beautiful dresses like that. I bet she would make a gorgeous one from this. Look at this, on white this time. But even in the background, you've still got lovely, lovely detail. Quilters, this is beautiful. But equally, dressmakers, soft furnishing. How nice to just bring in a few new cushions into the living room in the spring.
Or you conservatory. Cover your dining room seats with this. It's gorgeous.
£6.99.5 metre. Soon as this went live on the website, there were people checking it out before we showed it on air.
I'm so pleased because I might be allowed to go shopping again.
There you go. Now, Debbie Shaw is now our new buyer. There you go. Just £6.99.5 metre. Another brilliant price for Henry Glass. Beautiful quality cocktail. And I can't wait for you to feel it as well because it is gorgeous quality. There's less than 15 metres of that one available as well. Less than 15 metres. What was that? Sorry, Hannah? I'll give it a quick glance again. That one. I noticed you did hang this one out.
I love the hydrangeas, but I do love the little birds.
It's just so springtime. It just makes you smile, doesn't it? Just a real quick glance. We'll go back to them in just a second, but they're underneath us on the web if you want to take advantage. Right, so we've got our outer bag.
We have. I've turned it the right side out, so you can see how those cut-out corners have created the box shape really easily, and it looks so neat. So I'm leaving the lining inside out, and then I'm going to put the outside the right side out, inside the lining, which is inside out. Right sides together.
This is one of the most confusing things for me when I started. I was like, what on earth? And that really helped the way you said it then. I now get it completely. Right. So the right sides together, basically,
right sides
isn't it?
Together. So pattern sides together. So it doesn't matter whether one of them is going to be inside out. The outside could be inside out, or the inside could be...
Go on.
The outside can be inside out or the inside can be inside out, but as long as the right sides are together, that's the main thing. It's a good job this is explained simply in the book, isn't it? Yes. And I'm going to match the seams at the side and then sew all the way around the top.
Hannah needs confirmation that it's simple in the book. Can you show me the page that this is on, please? Oh, that's so funny.
Have you got it? Because this one's kind of been...
you've got it. Oh, there it is.
Have you got it?
Yeah. So, it's all broken down beautifully, and it is really, really simple to do. But do you know what? It baffled me the first time I heard people saying about, right, okay, hang on, is this called bagging out?
This is bagging out.
Right, so that's another term that you'll hear quite a lot.
You'll hear that with quilting. You can bag out a quilt like I did this one. You can bag out a bag. You can bag out a jacket. It's basically, it's basically when you sew a lining to the outside and then turn it all the right side out.
There you go. It's actually logic, isn't it? It is simple. But all of your instructions for the bag that we're making, we're calling it a bag. It's actually a plant pot.
Yes, but it could be again a storage for bits and bobs in your sewing room.
Well, haven't you got? I heard you saying you've got a big yellow teacup for your Wonder Clips, haven't you? I thought this would be nice for Wonder Clips.
That's a good idea. Yes. Yeah, to decant them. I like to be. I am very organised. I do like to be organised. I find I can sew better when things are nice and clean and tidy and in their place. But to have pots of things around the room, I just find it really useful so I can see where everything is.
There is now less than 30 of these books left, by the way. We thought we'd bring it in as today is March 4th, and that means March 4th and try something new. Is it a new thing for us, or is it a new thing in...
It's a new thing. It's not just Sewing Street.
I
mean, it's not official. You can't take the day off work or anything.
Right, I'm marching forth and trying something new. I'm going to go and be in the police or something today. Yes. No, it is. Yeah,
I nearly did.
Yeah.
That was going to be my first job.
Really?
I wasn't quite tall enough at the time
to be a policewoman.
Yeah, you had to be 5'6", and I was 5'5.5". Yeah.
No way.
That was in 1976, so things have probably changed a lot since then.
So this is where you are bagging out.
I'm pulling the outside, I'm turning the whole thing the right side out through that gap that I left in the bottom, which is probably a little bit too small.
Would you sort of leave about, as long as you can fit your hand in to pull it out, sort of a palm size?
Okay, that's that. Then I'm left with a hole in the bottom here. And you find if you just pull the sides of the gap, the edges fold in, and I'm just going to machine sew across the top. You could actually make this reversible, in which case hand sew this, use a ladder stitch and make it as invisible as you can.
Right.
So if you are putting a plant in there and you get a bit of soil in the bottom, you can turn it the other side out.
There you go. Just while Debbie's quickly doing that, the other Hydrangea fabric is the border one, or which one? Any of the collection. Oh, let's do the one that Debbie loves, the birds, because this is really lovely. This would make a lovely border as well around the panel,
Yes,
wouldn't it?
yes, it would do. Or the hem of a little dress would be nice as well.
But be aware, as we're talking about, you know, new people starting, it's a directional print, isn't it?
Yes,
So you've got to take that into consideration.
Yes. But that would have been nice around the panel as well, actually.
Yeah, yeah, really nice around the panel. Absolutely. Lots and lots of people already checked out today. Don't worry, you can come back in and check out on half a metre of this or a metre of this, and you'll still only pay £1 postage and packaging all day long. It doesn't matter how many times you come back throughout the day and check out, you'll still only pay £1 P&P. It's again £6.99. It's Henry glass, beautiful fabric. Debbie picked this out, especially as it's this time of year. We're looking forward to spring, aren't we?
Yes.
March the 20th officially is when spring. Yeah.
Oh, it's not far away.
I'm counting down. I'm counting down. One more fabric.
I just love this time of year. I love it when you see the buds on the tree. Then it'll be blossom, then the blossom all blows all over the street, so it looks like pink snow.
Well, the world just starts waking up, doesn't it?
And it gets lighter in the mornings.
Yes, which I know you were saying.
And in the evenings.
This morning I said to Debbie, "What time do you wake up?" She says, "I don't mind getting up at 4 in the morning when it's light, but it feels wrong, doesn't it?
It's not right getting up in the dark."
Right, now, this isn't a panel, but I'm going to show it you this way, because if you buy multiple units, that pattern will continue along the fabric, if you know what I mean. So it isn't a panel, it kind of looks like a panel, because you could use this as borders, you could use it, again, for fussy cutting, it'd be really lovely. But you have a bit of a snippet of it all, don't you? But I'm imagining round the bottom of a dress, if you were to buy continuous,
amazing.
a few half metres of this, round the bottom, it would look lovely, wouldn't it?
Or if you're putting a border around a cushion cover, maybe, and mite the corners on it. Maybe with one of the, if you've got the big panel, you're going to cut it up, just make some cushion covers with this as the border.
Oh, and if you were to have that sort of round the bottom of your plant pot, something, that would look lovely.
Yes. Oh, tablecloths.
Yes, absolutely.
It might need a bit of meterage if you've got a big cloth, but that would look nice. So again, instead of, if you are a beginner sewer, you don't necessarily have to make something. You could use this as a trim for something that you've already made. Or revamp something you've already got. You know, we're all talking about recycling and upcycling and repurposing. Yeah. By adding something fresh and new to something old, you're giving it a whole new lease of life.
That's it, absolutely. Good idea. Just having that along the bottom of a cushion or, a trim on a bag.
Yeah.
Brilliant idea. The block fabric, we're just going to quickly do the rest of these and then go back to our plant pot. Which one's the block? That's the panel, isn't it? Right, so which one is left? There's the hydrangeas we've done. The lilac. Thank you, Kat. Kat was like, the lilac, not done the lilac. Oh no, that's Riley Blake. This one? Sorry, I'm getting in a muddle of which ones I've done and which ones I haven't. This one's Blue Scenic. And they do look like watercolour paintings, don't they, Debbie?
They are based on watercolour paintings by a fabric designer. It's an American lady, I can't remember her name offhand. But I love the detail on them as well. You can almost see the brush strokes. But the colours of the flower, the little birds, you can hear them singing almost, can't you?
Yeah. That's so beautiful. So that, just to remind you, that is what half a metre looks like. So let me get them all together so we can, so I can see which ones I haven't done. So that one's part of a different one, isn't it?
No, that's it.
Oh, that one is still this one. Brilliant. Yeah. That's the purple.
So that's just got the outline of the flowers.
Oh, that's lovely.
Which aren't really flowers.
So I wouldn't necessarily call this a blender because it's so much more than that.
Yeah.
But this is lovely to then have as, like you've got on the bag, which we'll show in a second here, as a bottom or the strap of a bag or the lining even. It would look really nice, wouldn't it?
It'd make a fabulous lining. You know, if you are dressmaking, maybe you're making a little bolero jacket. Oh, wedding season's coming up, isn't it? Can you imagine a dress made out of the mother of the bride?
Oh, gorgeous.
But the lining on a plain dress would look. I like a nice lining, even though it's not something that you see until you hang your jacket up or something. It just makes it feel special.
That is gorgeous, isn't it? I love that print. It's so delicate. So we've got that one, the purple. These are all $6.99 a half metre. We've also got. This is, I think, my favourite. I can see a beautiful dress in this. Or, like you said, a shirt even.
Yes. Yeah, that made it a fantastic shirt, wouldn't it? And that is non-directional, isn't it? So you could use that any way around. So if you are quilting, you're really going to make the most of every inch of your fabric.
Oh, look at that. The beautiful blues and purples. Can we do this by the half metre? Okay. I think it's on the website, but I can't put it in the mega bundle, so we can't bring the graphics live on the screen. But it is available underneath us on the or on the phone. I'm getting confused. On the web. This one we've done. That's tossed on blue. This one's tossed on white. This one's the stripe, and this one's the birds. Brilliant. So we've got a mega bundle that has the panel in it as well as the stripe, the border, the birds, half a metre of each, the tossed on white, tossed on blue, the hydrangeas on blue, that lovely purple, and this one as well. What was that one called? Do you remember? Plus, you get the panel, which is this, isn't it?
Yes.
The other one's called Blue Scenic. All of the bundle for £52.92. In fact, actually, that means you're making a saving of £3. Brilliant. So you'll also get the panel. The only way of now getting the panel is in the mega bundle. It is in the bundle. Loads and loads of people coming through for all of the range, so I really hope you manage to make most of it. But even if you don't use them all for a massive quilt, it's nice to just be able to have half a metre to dip in and make extra bits and bobs off furnishings.
Yeah, I'm just imagining the sun streaming through your conservatory, or if you're maybe in rented accommodation, you're not allowed to put pictures and colours and paint and things like that. Just adding these lovely bright springtime colours to your room, they're just so uplifting. I was so drawn to these fabrics as soon as I saw the colours, before I even realised that it was hydrangeas and little birds and things. That I think they're absolutely striking. And they're not particularly fluffy and girly.
No, that's it, they're not. But these purples I just love. The lilac is beautiful. Sorry, it's probably the worst way of displaying it. But remember, you get half a metre of each. Half a metre of each, which is a lot of fabric, and the panel. Half a metre is that much fabric. So if you're looking at projects from the book, there is so much that you're going to be able to do with this.
The placemats would look lovely.
Yeah.
So you don't have to put a whole border around your tablecloth if you don't, because that would be a lot of fabric. But you could fussy cut some of the flowers and, like you were saying, applique them to your tablecloth. Yeah. Then make your table mats to match, and then maybe something for the kitchen, like pot holders. Yeah. You can make little baskets, bread baskets to go in the centre. Or if you've got some faux flowers, you could make the little box to put them in on the table. You could coordinate the whole room, couldn't you?
I do like this, that you've just got, a sneak peek of that metallic little cat as well. That looks gorgeous.
This would normally be top stitched around the edge just to finish it off, but I thought just because we're out of time, I'd just fold it over evenly.
But then, you could just top stitch it round, or if you did want it as reversible, you don't even need to do the little...
No, you could, again, make that neat sewing at the bottom, and then you could actually reverse that.
Really lovely, really quick, easy make. I mean, we've done that you've done it in probably 10 minutes. Yeah, absolutely. The fabric that Debbie's been using, the project's from the book. The fabric is from the Riley Blake range, which is gorgeous. The balls of wool ones are stunning. Which one do you want to do first, Hannah? We could do the yarn, let's do the yarn, because it looks like a spot from a distance, doesn't it?
That's what I love about it. It's subtle. It doesn't shout cats at you. It's not novelty.
Well, there's a time and a place, isn't there?
Yes.
I love some of the novelty cat fabrics. They're really fun. But this, you could have a dress made out of it, and then I could just imagine somebody looking going, hang on, are they balls of wool? That's so cool. I love it.
Actually, that would make a lovely gift for somebody who knits, wouldn't it? So you could make a knitting needle case with it, or a roll for knitting needles.
The other wool fabric that we have is the pink. That's so pretty. I'm imagining a little girl's dress.
Oh, yeah.
That would look lovely in this.
A headband with a nice big bow on the top.
Absolutely. £6.99. We're doing this very, very quickly, but they're all underneath us on the website. Lots of people have already checked out. In fact, speaking of little girl's dress, we've had this one. You've made up into a little A little summer dress.
Just a little strappy dress, yes, with borders on there. There may be another couple of fabrics in the range that we can get on the website as well. They're not available at the moment, but if you've seen something around the set that you think, well, I haven't seen that, they may pop up soon.
Oh, brilliant. Okay. So they might be on the website. If any of these we... Oh, yeah, there's the graphic for that one. That's £6.99. They're all available underneath on the web. There's the mint. We've also got the one on cream. These are so pretty. Once again, I can imagining fussy cutting some of these little floral designs and appliquing them onto cushions or for smaller projects as well, even like the coasters that we saw.
Really classic traditional floral designs as well. But then part of the range is contemporary chevrons.
Yeah, you would never put them together. This is what I love about designers, really thinking outside the box, putting cat fabric with florals, with chevrons, geometric prints like this. And they work so well. Oh, I love that metallic, £6.99. And then we've done the cat's on grey and mint. And the writing one as well. There's a mega bundle for all of them. So if you can't choose, you want half a metre of every single one of these, then you can make the most of all of those fabrics, half a metre of each. There you go. All underneath us on the website, so you can still make the most of it. Plus, a brilliant book. Thank you so much for bringing us such lovely fabrics. A great book. We will see you very soon anyway, won't we?
Next Tuesday.
Brilliant. We'll see you then. Thank you very much. Do check out on the web, and we'll see you tomorrow at 9 in the morning. Bye.